Father is my hope, the Son is my refuge, the Holy Spirit is my protection. Holy Trinity, glory to you. Welcome back to the Children's Corner. As you can see, we have a few friends to help us today.
Nummy nummy.
But before we tell our story, I'd like to think about, our theme this week is birds. And I'd like to think about a couple of times when birds help people in the Old Testament. Can you think of any times, Ella, when birds are very, very important?
When they're in the desert and the sparrows come, they roast them to eat.
Is it sparrows? It's
Okay, the quails.
The quail, exactly. I'm thinking about a couple other times. When else are they important? As messengers.
Oh, in Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark. So we have the raven that goes out, and yesterday we had the story of Cuthbert and the ravens in Noah's Ark. We have the raven that goes out and comes. Is the raven successful in its mission? No.
It's all wet.
It's all wet. Who is successful in her mission?
Dove.
The dove. And the dove is the promise of peace.
That's the baby.
That's the baby. When Jesus is baptized, what happens? The Holy Spirit comes in the form of a dove, right? Birds are very important as messengers. They're very important as friends.
And elephants.
Elephants, okay.
My chickens are my friends.
They are, yeah, they are. They're good friends. And they give you eggs every day.
Stomp.
Stomp, stomp, stomp. I
And
think
return with
Mr.
the food.
Elephant is getting impatient for our story, so let's begin. Tweet, 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 tweet. The baby birds cried out for their mother. Patience, patience, said Sparrow. Now, this is not actually a sparrow. This is an eastern meadowlark. But since one of our themes on the Children's Corner is imagination, we're going to allow the eastern meadowlark to help us to imagine that she's a sparrow. And maybe Mom and Dad can help you look up what a sparrow actually looks like. Patience, patience, said Sparrow. I have enough here for everyone. And she fed her babies and hugged them and wrapped her wings around them. And soon they were fast asleep. You ready, Mr. Elephant? Kathoom, kathoom, kathoom. Elephant came stomping through the jungle. Elephant came tramping through the jungle. The earth shook, the trees shook, and so did Sparrow's nest. Tweet! Called the baby birds. They were startled and frightened and wide awake. Sparrow was furious. See what you've done, she complained to Elephant. You woke up my babies with your tramping and your stomping and your trumpeting. Could you try to be a little quieter? Kathoom, kathoom, kathoom. Elephant tramped over to Sparrow's tree. Who do you think you're talking to? He demanded. You're nothing but a tiny little sparrow. I am Elephant, the strongest animal in the jungle, and I will do whatever I please. The strongest animal in the jungle? I don't believe it, said Sparrow. And then without thinking, and sometimes we say things without thinking that we regret later, she added, why, even I could beat a big meanie like you. Elephant tossed his trunk in the air and gave a trumpet blast. He had never been so insulted. Meet me tomorrow at noon at the old banana tree, he roared. We'll have a test of strength and see who is the strongest animal in the jungle. And then he tromped away angrily. Kathoom, kathoom, kathoom. What have I done, thought Sparrow. Well, I had to do something. He was waking up my babies after all. Later that day, Sparrow flew to the river to take a bath and fetch some water for her children. But just as she landed at the water's edge, Crocodile appeared.
Kersplosh, kersplosh, kersplosh.
He thrashed his scaly tail back and forth across the water till Sparrow thought she was going to drown. Stop it, she cried. All I want is some water for myself and my babies.
Who do you think you are? You're only a little sparrow, and I am the crocodile, the strongest animal in the jungle, and I will do whatever I please.
Now Sparrow had heard this before, and she was about to fly away when she had an idea. The strongest animal in the jungle? She laughed. I don't believe it. I will meet you here tomorrow, just after noon, and I will show you that I am more powerful than you can ever hope to be. Crocodile laughed so hard there were tears in his eyes.
I'll take you up on that, he chuckled. And if you win, I will be quiet.
And you may drink.
And you can drink from here whenever you want.
The next day, as the sun reached the top of the sky, Sparrow met Elephant by the old banana tree. She had the end of a long, thick vine in her beak. For our test of strength, she said, we will have a tug of war. You hold this end of the vine. Hold here. Hold here. And I will fly off and grab hold of the other end. And when I cry pull, we shall see who is the strongest. Kathoom, Kathoom, Kathoom. Elephant tramped up and down with joy. He could win this contest easily. So he took the vine from Sparrow, and she flew off to grab the other end. But when she picked up the other end, she did not cry pull, at least not straight away. No, she carried the vine to the river where Crocodile was waiting. Kersplash, kersplash, kersplash.
So you've come after all.
Yes, she said, and I've come to win. We shall have a tug of war. You take this end, and I will fly off and grab the other end. And when I cry pull, we shall see who is the strongest. Crocodile chuckled and clamped his teeth onto the edge of the vine. Then Sparrow flew to the middle of the vine, to a spot where she could hear both Elephant and Crocodile, but where they could not hear each other. And that's when she cried, you guys ready? Pull! Kathoom, Kathoom. Oops. You got to hold on to it tight. You got to hold on to it tight. There you go. Kathoom, Kathoom, Kathoom. Elephant pulled, feet stomping, neck straining, trunk swinging up and down. Kersplash, kersplash, kersplash. Crocodile pulled as well, feet splashing, teeth gnashing, tail thrashing back and forth. They pulled for an hour. They pulled for 2. But pull as they might, neither could budge the other. At last, Elephant crawled through his aching teeth. Sparrow, I give up. I never would have believed it, but you are every bit as strong as I am. From now, I will tiptoe quietly past your tree. Crocodile cried out as well.
You win, mighty Sparrow. From now on, you may drink from my river whenever you like.
So Sparrow went home to her little nest. And when she told her babies what she had done, they laughed and clapped their wings and cheered, toot-tweet, toot-tweet, toot-tweet. So today we have for you a simple craft using wax paper, an indelible marker, and crayons.
I don't want to do it.
And what you do is whatever shape you want to do, a bird, a flower, what other things would be fun for this?
A beak.
Maybe a star.
A star could be really pretty. So you draw the outline in indelible marker, and then you fill in the inside, and that's the fun part, right, Ella?
Yeah.
How do you fill in the inside?
You color each of the little shapes a different color.
So with your black marker, you've created squiggles inside of it, and then once you have the squiggles, you fill in each, like Ella said, each little section you fill in with a different color, and it ends up having this really beautiful stained glass effect. And then you can put it in a sunny windowsill and watch the sun shine through. So that is our craft for today. We hope you enjoy it. We hope that you fill your rooms with sunshine and beautiful colors. One other fun thing to do that involves windows if you're stuck inside is bird identification. And oftentimes we see a bird outside our window and we don't know what it is. And this is a fantastic ID guide. It's called, as you can see, the Crosley ID guide. And it's actually, I checked before we started filming, it's actually available via Kindle. So if you don't have a bird ID guide in your house, this one is fun because it has these beautiful pictures, full color plates, that sort of show the bird in its natural habitat. So you can see this is a hummingbird page that I just opened to, and it has all the different kinds of hummingbirds, but it shows it in its natural habitat so that you can see, oh, this is where it would be. And it's a lot of fun. David, we like to look at this book, right? So this is one of your favorite books, isn't it, David? Yeah. So you can see just these beautiful, here's a little house wren, which is very common in Massachusetts. But these are actually, they're
We
kind
never
of,
had those.
they're migratory. And here is a wren. Let's see if we can find in here a sparrow. So let's look in the back and see if we can find a sparrow.
Throwing the contents.
Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sparrow. Sparrow.
Here's a song sparrow. So here is what our friend Sparrow from our story would have looked like, right? A very humble little bird. And we see these around all the time, and they sing very, very sweetly.
But we never had a sparrow.
No.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
And the thing about birding is, it's a fantastic thing to do out your window, but also if you want to see the most birds, the best time to do it is outside first thing in the morning. So if you want to become a good birder, you have to get up really early. Yes?
You can also make a bird like hideout, but you're peeking out between the leaves and you're seeing the birds.
Next to your window, you can keep a bird log so you can keep track of which birds come and visit you, which is also really fun. And you'll notice if you do it for an entire year, even sporadically, you'll notice that the birds that you see change because some birds stay through the winter and some birds migrate. So keep track of those things and discover what birds Simon Says. But we're going to do Simon Says a little bit differently, and that is we're going to do Simon Says animal style. So we had an elephant, we had a crocodile, we had a sparrow in our story today. And so I'm going to play Simon, or you can do Mommy Says. And I'm going to say things, Simon Says, I'm going to say things that you have to do like the animals.
Yeah, a bat.
Simon Says, cozy up in a nest like the mama sparrow. Simon Says, wake up like an angry mama sparrow.
Cheep, cheep, cheep.
Simon Says, splash like a crocodile. Simon Says, flap like a bat or a sparrow. Simon Says, stomp like an elephant. Simon Says, come back to your chairs and be my children, please. Thank you. Yesterday we had a song, and we're going to sing it again just so we remember it, and it was a bird song. This is what the mother sparrow would sing with her babies maybe, and she would say, this is the way we scratch for worms, scratch for worms, scratch for worms. This is the way we scratch for worms so early in the morning. This is the way we peck our food, peck our food, peck our food. This is the way we peck our food so early in the morning. This is the way we sit on our eggs, sit on our eggs, sit on our eggs. This is the way we sit on our eggs so early in the morning. Now remember we said the mama sparrow is little, so she's going to have little flaps. This is the way we flap our wings, flap our wings, flap our wings. This is the way we flap our wings so early in the morning. But I have a friend Bat over here, and he has bigger wings, and so he's going to flap like a bat. This is the way we flap our wings, flap our wings, flap our wings. This is the way we flap our wings so early in the morning. And this is the way we sit quietly, sit quietly, sit quietly. This is the way we sit quietly so early in the morning. So today and going forward, good night, little bat. We have the opportunity, because this is no longer a live show and no longer a Zoom show, we have the opportunity to invite guests to the program. And today our guest is our chanter, Richard Barrett, and he will be helping us to learn some very simple hymns of the church. And so if you would like to follow along.
Who is so great a God as our God? You alone are the God who does wonders. power among the peoples. Who is so great a God as our God? You alone are the God who does wonders. I remembered the Lord's works, for I will remember your wonders of old. Who is so great a God as our God? You alone are the God who does wonders.
Thank you very much for that, Richard. And now you guys can practice every day. It's really a lovely way to start your day. Throughout the day, when you are feeling a little bit tired or you need just a little bit of a pick-me-up, it's a fantastic opportunity to pray throughout the day with some of these simple hymns. We all know that it's going to be several weeks before we are able to gather together. One of the things that families do as they're getting ready for Christmas, they know it takes a long time to wait for Christmas, right, Ella?
Yeah.
So I know, it takes a long time. And so many families actually, to help the wait seem shorter, they create an Advent calendar. And so to take us through the days of April that may seem long until we can see our friends in person again, we've decided around here to make an April Advent calendar.
And every day of April, we're going to take one week off, and there's going to be a little thing to do in it, maybe some candy, some toys, whatever.
So something that will help. No, I don't know about that. Something that will help the days pass. An interesting activity, and we are calling this project Pray, Play, and Persevere for the 30 days of April. So please join us. We would love to see the pictures of your April Advent calendar under the comments of this video. So please, if you think that this would be helpful to your family, to count the days until hopefully we will be able to see each other in person again. Think up 30 things that you would like to do. And they can be simple things. They can be favorite movies. They can be something kind for your neighbor.
Like Curious George.
Yep, it could be Curious George. It could be baking something delicious and sharing it with the neighborhood. It could be a treasure hunt. It could be Mom and Dad have to do something very, very silly or fun. I'm getting myself in trouble here. So that's our April Advent calendar. We'll finish our time today with Iville to Youville. And again, as we're reading, Ella has a mannequin, and she's creating some fun fashion design. So this is a great quiet activity while we're listening to the story. This chapter is called The Wise Elder. You're hot. Okay.
My clothes.
Oh, you can get your puzzle out of the thing. Before his visit to the palace, Stubborn has asked his brother to accompany him on his journey to discover Youville. But his brother Pride, who was 3 years older, didn't seem to share Stubborn's enthusiasm for finding Youville. "I'm doing just fine here," he said. "Iville is the best place in the world. Why go to so much trouble for no reason?" Ambition, Stubborn's sister, did want to go with him, but her parents would not give their permission because she was too young. So Stubborn set off on his journey alone. For 3 days, Stubborn traveled through unknown places. He passed through mountains and valleys, not coming across a single city or even another person. He had begun his adventure full of hope, but now he was starting to become disappointed. He longed for the beautiful kingdom he had left behind, and he wondered if looking for Yuville was really worth so much effort. Night was falling, and he began to ask himself if Yuville even existed. He started traveling down the mountain he was exploring, trying to find a safe place to spend the night, when all of a sudden he smelled burning wood. Oh,
I like the smell.
I like the smell of burning wood too. In the distance, he could see smoke rising from behind some trees. Stubborn quickened his pace. Who could have lit the fire? Surely there was someone there. As he got closer, he saw the opening of a cave and someone sitting outside of it. He started running toward the cave, not believing what he saw in front of him. Sure enough, it was an old man with a long white beard sitting in front of a fire, cooking something in a pot. "Hey!" Stubborn shouted, running to him. The old man stood up and beckoned him to come nearer. Stubborn went toward him, out of breath and shivering all over. "Welcome, welcome," said the old man. He put an arm around the boy's shoulder and sat him down on a log by the fire. "Come and rest. When you're settled, we can talk." He covered him with an old, moth-eaten blanket and gave him some water. Stubborn had been so anxious beforehand, and then so excited to see another human being, and then so tired from running, that it took some time for him to come entirely to his senses. His teeth were chattering so much that he wasn't able to utter a single word. He watched the old man who sat cooking undisturbed. He noticed that the elder was not at all surprised to see him. In fact, it was as if he had been expecting him. The old man took a fish out of the pot, cut it in two, and served it on 2 wooden plates with some sauce. "That must be why I caught a big fish today. I was going to have a guest. It's fresh from the river. You'll like it." Stubborn was so hungry that he would have enjoyed even a boiled stone. What do you think, David? Would you eat a boiled stone?
If I had to.
A boiled stone?
If there was nothing else, I would.
Well, maybe you would take it and make stone soup. That's another great story.
If nobody else had it. If nobody else had some.
They ate in silence. With warm food inside of him and the company of the elder, Stubborn slowly relaxed. He was surprised that the elder hadn't asked him a single question. Wasn't he curious to know what a child was doing in the middle of the wilderness? Stubborn decided to say something. "I'm looking for Yuville. Have you heard of it?" The elder smiled and nodded his head. "Well, yes, I know something about it." Stubborn jumped to his feet, grabbed the elder by his shoulders, and started shaking him. "Tell me, is it near?" he exclaimed. "What do you know?" "I can see the food has strengthened you. Sit back down." "This is no time to sit. I have to know now. I've been searching 3 days, and I've found nothing." "Even if you search for 103 days, you'd still find nothing." "Why?" That's where we're going to stop. Let's close with our prayer from St. Patrick. Christ be with me. You can say it with me. Christ be with me. Christ within me. Christ behind me. Christ before me. May Christ go with you until we meet again.
Goodbye.